Oh, good morning. Good morning. We are going to, most of you, or a lot of you, have turned in your Starburst unit. An awesome job. I'm very, very impressed with all your work. It's beautiful. If you have not turned it in, when I'm done talking and telling you the first part of today, you can have time to get that turned in. Also, you're going to want to go in and make sure you turn in that more or less project if you have not, and your discussion from last week. Today, in Monday's folder, we are going to start with Sharpie techniques this week. And so, step 2, I'm going to show you in just a second. Basically, we have 3 steps today. We're going to do Sharpie techniques. We're going to talk about our Sharpie in action drawing. We're going to do the discussion, and then you'll have work time. You'll have multiple work times. We split up multiple ways. So, the Sharpie techniques, what you're going to be doing today is, if I can get here, we are in Monday's folder. Now, I also have your this week's turn-in attached. So if you're somebody who likes to download it immediately, so you have the turn-in graphic organizer, that is attached to this as well. So, shading with Sharpies. We are going to learn how to create different techniques with Sharpies, just like we did with colored pencils, because you can do shading and different layering and textures to use Sharpies where it's not just coloring in like solid like a coloring book. Now, these are some student examples because you're going to have 2 pages in your sketchbook today. The first page is going to be the techniques, and then the second page is going to be putting that into action. And I will show you some examples. You can see here, like this was a technique page of one of the students, and all the rest of these students were putting it into action. They're showing me those techniques in their own drawings. So, how you're going to do this is you need to follow along with this slideshow. There's 3 videos. So, on slides 5, 6, and 7. And the first one, you do not have to use the same shapes. So, for instance, with a flower, if you're like, I'm so not a flower person, totally fine. Then why don't you you can draw whatever shapes you want. I don't care. I just want to see the technique. If you want to draw it exactly as you see it to practice the technique, great. Okay. I would try to do the same colors so you can get that down. But if you want to not do a flower, I totally understand. Not all of us are flower people. But you can see here they're showing the different shadings and layerings and like stippling. The next video is going to be showing you how to blend blend a leaf. And then the third video is going to be writing with your name and showing you different blending techniques and different drawing techniques. Okay, so again, that is your first sketch. Your second one is you're going to put that into action. And what that means is I have multiple videos in here that are going, you can literally copy them if you want because we're practicing. So you could literally follow along with this video and create this exact monster. You could change the colors. You could add different techniques to it. I have a video here with all these different little doodles and different expressions. This one's super fun. And you can see back here one of the examples that one of my students did right here. Your goal with that second drawing is to fill your space. So this person also did the galaxy one, which I'll show you, and then they added planets and a background. This person did the deer one that I have, and they added their own style to it. There's lots of different things you can do. You can draw whatever you want. If you want to do your own drawing and add Sharpie technique to it, totally fine. This is a video on Converse, and you could change the characters, you could change the colors. This one is the galaxy one. You could change the colors. You can change the background. There's so many things you can do with these videos. They're just like a jumping off point. I have like the deer one here. I think there's 2 more. Then there is this eye one, which if I can get to it, it's like a galaxy eye, and a lot of students did that and changed the colors, changed what the eye looked like. And then the last one is like a pixelated art one. I also showed last hour, if I can find it. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I'm not glitchy right now, so that makes me happy. Oh my goodness, here we go. So Miss Jones and I create a slideshow each trimester of student artwork to share with people. And here is, so some of my students chose their Sharpie in action to be the artwork that they wanted. in the show. So give me 1 second. This is loading. So here is Olivia's in the middle. This was also actually entered into the Youth Art Month. But this was her Sharpie in action. And notice her background. She added the patterns from the past. So it was like, okay, what am I going to do with this background? And she has these beautiful patterns going on that are symmetrical. It's just absolutely beautiful. Then I have another student in here. Give me 1 second. Right here. So Isabella's, look at that. Look how amazing her Sharpie in action. She's got her shading, her layering. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for your second drawing. But your first drawing is just the techniques. Is this making sense to everybody?
And the technique videos are on slide 4, 5, and 6?
Yes. Let me go back to them. And right now, I'm going to give you, it's 9:32. I'm going to give you until, we went about 45 minutes, so probably 10:15, and I'll stop y'all, and we're going to do our discussion together today in class. And then after that, you'll have more work time. If you need to take this time right now to turn in your more or less, to do your discussion from last week and get your starburst turn in, do that first. Then jump into this because you don't want to dig yourself into like a bigger hole, if that makes sense. So get that stuff done and then start on slide 5. Does that make sense to everybody?
Shaking of heads, yes. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are not done with anything from last week, or if you have to finish up on Starburst, this is now the time to get everything submitted and turned in. I'll be checking in with students that have missing assignments during this time. Page 1 of your sketch is going to be, I believe, slides 4, 5, and 6. They are the shading techniques and stippling techniques of Sharpies. Watch them, participate with them, make one page all about experimentation, and then we are going to be able to move on with the discussion and our own individual Sharpie assignments after the second part of today.
Exactly. And it's 5, 6, and 7. Sorry, slides 5, 6, and 7.
5, 6, and 7.
Yes.
All right, so if everyone goes to their Schoology, if you need headphones, let me know. You can follow along. Remember, you do not have to be just doing flowers or leaves. You can change the shapes and design in regards to the time. Questions so far? No? Nada? Wow, you made my job sleep. The rest of their time to make their choices, so that'll work out well.
All right, we are going to go into the Monday folder and go to the discussion, slowly but surely. So discussion, so step 3, and the discussion is called What is Art and Who Decides What It Means? And this will be quick. There's 2 parts to it. It will say Film Friday because I was going to do this on Friday, but I decided to switch it to today because we needed some work time. So we are going to watch a quick video about what art means. And once we're done watching that, you guys have 2 questions to answer. So the first question is, what is art to you and who decides what it means? So that's the first question. And then the second one is to look at this work of art by street artist Banksy. Like, I'm not going to tell you the title, I'll tell you at the end. But your question is, what do you think this art piece means? And like, what is the artist trying to say? So you can see it larger here. And so the whole point is for you to tell us what is the artist trying to tell us here. So that is what the discussion is about today. So again, it's 2 parts. If you want full credit, you have to answer both questions. And then you have your Sharpie techniques and your Sharpie in